Lisa. This is the first in a series of videos where I'm doing layouts that use things that I've done on the Gelli plate. Now, if you are not a Gelli plate user, that's fine, because what we're doing here, you could substitute pattern paper or other materials for the Gelli plates, and I'll talk more about that as I get into the video. I took the approach with this of looking at some of my photos and saying, okay, what can I make on the Gelli plate, or what do I already have made that I can use on my layouts? And in this case, I have created something on the Gelli plate, which I'll show you in just a moment, but I want to link up the Gelli plate videos, so you can, if you want to watch all of that first, you can do that, or not at all, or you can watch it afterwards, however you want to go. So it'll be linked here, and then it'll also be linked again at the end of the video. Okay, so here is what I created to go with these two photos. These were photos that were made at a beach, not one that I have been to in over 25 years, but I had a family emergency and had to go down. I had never really planned to go back to this place. And I have a lot of journaling, a lot of very private journaling, so this page is going to have a place to put some hidden journaling, as well as these two photos. It was misty March days, and I really want to just kind of make this not exactly sad. There's another word that I'm looking for. I can't think, melancholy maybe, that I'm looking for this page. So I'm not looking for the bright sunny beach kind of look. And so what I ended up with for these, let's put them on some white paper so you can see how they came out. These were done on the Deli paper, so if you watch the video, you saw me do these on Deli paper with, it's been a while since I did them. I think it was some pearl paint and some very flat gray, either golden or Liquitex paint that I used, and a swirly stencil to create these, and also sort of a little circle stencil to create these designs, and they're going to be the background behind these two photos. Now what I have to figure out though is what background paper that I want to use. So I've got some options here. I have some gray background paper that I kind of like the look of. So it's going to be sort of stacked on there, and I think I'm going to leave the rough edges that you get on the Deli paper. This is white. They're going to show up the most on the white background. I kind of like that look as well. And then, because I had sort of a blue-green color in here, I thought I'd try this pool party paper from Stampin' Up. But my sky is really blue, so I don't really think I want to accent that. I really think I want to do the white, but I may add a little something to the white. I'm thinking about adding maybe some mist to that, just maybe some drops of mist. You're not going to end up seeing a lot of it because we're going to cover a lot of the background, so I don't know that that's really necessary, but we'll give it a try. We're going to do a few little drops of mist, and then I'm going to sew the Deli paper down. Now you would not have to do that. You could use regular adhesive and just put this down. If you're not using Deli paper, this is a good place to use vellum, especially some older pattern vellum that you want to use. This would be a good layout for that kind of thing. Book paper, tissue paper, any kind of thin paper that you want to use. And if you're looking for that kind of thing, I have some new products over on my Etsy shop where you can get some samplers for those kinds of things if you want to try some of them in your scrapbooking. So I'm going to sew this down after I do just a few little drops of mist, I think, on the background, so it's not just so perfectly white. And we're going to have the photos. Actually, well, they don't look bad that way, but I think I want them this way. I just took a shot one direction up the beach and then the other direction up the beach. And we had to make this emergency trip down because my dad became ill and had to go in the hospital, and he's fine. But I didn't have time to grab any of my normal beach stuff, so I didn't have my beach shoes, which I don't normally need when you go later in the year, but I needed them here because it was cold and my feet got cold, but I did get to walk, and that was one of the nice things about it. So I want to put my journaling, I think I'm going to put it in a pocket of some kind down here, maybe in an envelope, and then maybe put the title on top of the envelope. It's not going to have tons of stuff on there. I just want, you know, as I say, sort of a soft kind of melancholy look for this page. So let's do a little bit of misting, a few little drops of mist on the background, and then when that dries, we'll sew this on, and I'll just take it to the sewing machine and just sew around the edges, and I will put a little bit of adhesive on it first to hold it in place so it'll be easier to manage at the machine. And I'm going to be real casual with my sewing, not looking for straight lines, looking for a very, very casual look. As I say, this would be a good place to try fabric or tissue paper or other things if you want to do that same kind of look.
This is Heidi Swap Tencel, which is our silver.
Okay, so here's the stitching. It's very rough, just kind of casual around there. And then what we're going to do is put these on there, and I found these letters. And where I found my letters is I keep this box of letters, so I have like all the A's and B's. There's an @ symbol in there, and I have, well, there's an A there, and then I have, you know, C's and D's and so forth down through the line, and then numbers at the end. And those are just some of my odd pieces. And then, so I'm just doing this title back, and what I wanted to do is put an envelope here, and I found some paper that I can cut my envelope out of. So let's see how big that needs to be, like maybe 3 inches, I think would probably be the right size.
So I've trimmed this down on the paper trimmer, and I actually end up doing it 3½ inches. And I want it to be about 8 inches long. I'm going to go ahead and score this at 1 inch and then 4½ inches over. So I'll have a 3½ inch main body to this, and I'm going to have to trim it down a little bit more. I've got too much paper there width-wise. And then I'll take it back and score it so that 2 inches off of each side, so that I have 8 inches in the middle, and that makes it 8 inches long. And then what I do is just trim out the parts that I don't need. There's a corner off of each side that I can trim off so that I have a flap at the bottom and a flap. Actually, I would have a flap. If I wanted to close the envelope, I'd have a flap at the top. What I'm going to do at the top is trim that whole 2 inches off, and then I'm going to cut partial circle out, so this is an open envelope that you can just pull out what you need. Could use a large punch. My Creative Memory circle cutters are handier, so I just grabbed one of those. And then the inside is showing, and since that inside doesn't match my paper very much, I will cover that with something else. But if you had a double sided or double printed paper, then you would just, you know, let the inside show through. That if you had one that you liked, you just let that inside show through. We'll let that glue dry. And then I'm just going to take a little scrap of paper and tuck that on the inside. I'm not worrying about doing a contrasting paper on the inside because I'm going to have some, you know, my journaling in there, and this is a very private thing, so, and it's going in my album only, so I'm not really planning on pulling out the journaling all that often. Using my ruler to kind of get it lined up straight there, and I started putting glue right on the Deli paper, and that didn't go really well, so the tape runner adhesive works better on a more solid surface. Using some dimensional adhesive at the top of these photos, and then just regular tape runner adhesive at the bottom, and that'll kind of level them off a little bit. The chipboard, normally I paint, but I decided to go with the raw chipboard look for this page. I thought that it matched, and it kind of went with the whole theme to the thing. Now what you'll see in the final photo is that I used the word going. I add that in small letters. I got this all done, and I realized back needed something else to go with it, especially when I look at this years down the road, so I did add the word going in small stickers, and that's not showing in the video, but it'll be showing in the still shot at the end. I also felt like it needed a little bit more stuff to it, so I'm doing some just soft toned washi tapes there at the bottom. And I'm looking for some embellishment here to go with this. And I rummaged through and I found some clouds. And these from Pebbles are kind of cutesy, and I'm not really sure if they match the theme, but boy, do they match the colors. I mean, they are perfect for the colors. I have 2 of them. It seems like it's just made for the page. So I decided to use them and hope they didn't come off too cutesy for the page. Cutesy's fine, it's just not really what I'm going for this theme. Add a little bit of washi tape along with those, and then I'm going to do a few pearl accents to soften this up and kind of bring in that shimmer that's on the background paper.
So here's our page. I've got plenty of room to tuck my journaling in here, and I'm keeping it pretty simple. I'm afraid these might be too cutesy, but they're the right colors, and there were 2 of them. I mean, it's just kind of a perfect fit to go ahead and use that product up. And the word back and the photos, you know, that's what means something to me, and this very soft background kind of sets the mood for the page. So and then I just added a few little pearl accents in the washi tape. So a pretty simple page that will communicate what I want, the story that I want to tell in this instance. And we got to use some jelly prints on the Deli paper, which is a really lovely effect, and it's just adds a very soft, pretty effect. And then of course you can use these for lots of other things. I've done other projects where I sort of wrap the paper around stuff if you're doing something that's not a flat surface. It's really good for that. So anyway, that's the first of my jelly print pages, and I have a couple of other layouts coming along for you. So I hope you'll enjoy this series, whether you do jelly printing or not, to get some ideas for how to do things on your pages, like creating this little envelope for your journaling. Thanks so much for joining me today.